Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your eclipse season reading. This is going to be for the Pisces eclipse on the 7th and the Virgo eclipse on the 21st. Remember, eclipses can last for like 6 months or longer after, so, again, this covers that amount of time at least. You have this look at the bigger picture card, and also this card that says you and your loved ones are safe. Each row is going to represent something different. Your first row is going to represent what's being revealed to you at this time. Eclipses tend to reveal things to us. Plus, we are in a deep time of truth for sure. There are a lot of truths that are being revealed at this time. So again, don't be surprised when if there are some sort of shocking truth. Now, again, remember, we can feel eclipses early. We can feel eclipses later as well. And I'm going to take this popped out into my lap. I don't know if you could see that or not, but I pulled the Six of Cups, and this wanted to come out with it, so we'll take it. But again, we can feel this early as well. And so, like for example, right, my brother moved out yesterday. We've been living together forever, for 36 years, and a phase of life because he's younger, but he moved out yesterday, and but him moving out was like kind of a surprise when he told. I guess not maybe that much of a surprise, but kind of when he did it, right? And I knew before the eclipses, obviously, right? And so, but again, for you, Aquarius, this definitely could be true. I'm not, it could be any type of surprise that's coming out. So don't be surprised, is what I'm trying to say here, right? And usually it's a good thing. You have two more cards, a ton of aces, by the way. A lot of people have been getting these aces in these readings. And yeah, eclipses are good for starting something new. So, by the way, this set, the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle ends in 2027. That's when we have the last, I think it's the Virgo eclipse in 2027, if I'm not mistaken. But, again, we kind of go through these cycles where it's like, it goes back and forth between Pisces, Virgo, or, whatever signs, right? And so we could be dealing with this type of energy or themes that come up at this time until 2027. It also kind of depends on where it hits in your chart as well. It's like sometimes, it's like, for example, the Pisces that are going to feel the Pisces eclipse the most are the ones that are born like in March, basically, because the eclipse is really kind of hitting that part of the sky. So again, it kind of depends. But again, this first row is going to represent what's being revealed to you at this time. I think what's being revealed is time wasters. Anything that wastes your time and anything that steals your energy. The devil really isn't a bad card. The devil can be an energy vampire, but an energy vampire doesn't have to be a person. An energy vampire can be a person, place, or a thing. It can be, just anything that wastes your time, basically. So I think a lot of you are going to be looking at that. The interesting thing as well here, Aquarius, is that we have Saturn retrograde. So, Saturn retrograde, the eclipses, it's like the universe really could be pointing out where your time is being wasted, and you could be correcting that, which is great. You have the moon. I think a lot of people are seeing through the illusion. There's something about the truth at this time that's been coming up for everyone. It kind of makes sense. Neptune's on its way back into Pisces. It's not there yet, but it will be soon enough. And eclipses tend to expose the truth in some way. So, the moon can represent an illusion. But I feel for you, Aquarius, what's being revealed is like where you've allowed yourself to be confused, or you've allowed yourself to be to not see things clearly. And again, not a criticism. We all do this, right? We all, at one point or another, or probably for the rest of our lives, we will all at certain points, wear rose-colored glasses. We will all pick situations that we make out to be better than they actually are. We shouldn't beat ourselves up about it, and just, that's how life works. It makes life more exciting, right? And more fun. And it's like, why would you want to not see the best in situations anyway? But, again, I do kind of feel this is like a little bit of reality for some reason. The moon is the total opposite, but I read intuitively, and, again, that's what I feel for you, is that it's like you're seeing through an illusion, or, you're kind of like taking your rose-colored glasses off here, which I think is a good thing. It's like, yeah, maybe you have to admit some harsh truths to yourself. Like maybe you're saying, but I feel this is for good reasons. It's like if you're trying to grow your business, it's like maybe you're saying to yourself, I've been doing the wrong things. That is a harsh truth, but what it could lead to is success, right? So I feel that, yeah, this could be a truth. I don't even think it's that big of a deal, but, yeah, it's a truth that you're revealing, but it's going to lead to, it's a truth you're revealing to yourself, sorry. Can't talk today for some reason. And, doing that is going to lead to success. 9 of Cups right here. 9 of Cups is fulfillment and wish fulfillment. So I feel a lot of you could be doing things to create more fulfillment in your life. I feel like you're more focused on fulfilling situations as well, which is kind of an interesting way to look at this card. I feel this more intuitively. It's like I feel like you are focused on, doing things that have more substance. Maybe that's what I should say, is that you're paying attention to the substance of things in your life. It's like you're no longer going to do things that make you feel empty or shallow or anything like that, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I just feel like you're focusing on the substance, which is good. I've never said that before on the Nine of Cups, but I am taking that as a good thing for sure. I mean, why wouldn't it be, right? With the Devil, you have the World. The World can be an accomplishment or achievement. So for those of you that are like putting in the work or trying to do things in life right now, definitely could be like some sort of accomplishment or an achievement coming in for you at this time. Both of these cards, by the way, can represent Capricorn. So if you are looking for love, which we do have love here, Knight of Cups to the Ace of Cups, could be a Capricorn, could be any sign. Could be a water sign with Capricorn or Capricorn with water in their chart, something like that. But definitely could be love as well. With the Moon, yes, you have the Chariot. I pretty much encourage everyone to go on adventures right now because that's where success is going to come from. You have the World and the Chariot, which are both cards of travel. I always say, you don't necessarily have to travel with the Chariot. The Chariot is about setting yourself apart, which you are an Aquarius. If I were an Aquarius, that is definitely one of the things I would be focused on for the next 20 freaking years with Pluto in your sign. Everybody thinks of Pluto and Aquarius as the collective, which is true, but we also, again, I think that it also is the individual. Astrology is not one side or the other. And I think that sometimes the astrology, it's sure, you need to do things that benefit the collective with Pluto and Aquarius, but there's a certain way that we should do that, which is to be an inspiration. A great way to be an inspiration is to be an individual, to march to the beat of your own drum, to have the balls, the guts to do that in the first place. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like being an inspiration is going to be the thing that leads to an actual victory in your life. And that's what I would be paying attention to with the Chariot. Obviously it's in your sign. So it's going to be more important for you than anyone else. But I think you have a great opportunity, as I've said to you many times in the past, to shine. But, again, you're going to do this through probably, doing your own thing. With the Nine of Cups, you have the King of Wands. Yeah, King of Wands says you need to be bold and assertive at this time. I really feel you need to embrace your innovative nature as well. I think people forget, sure, the Knight of Wands is confidence and assertiveness and all those other things, but the Knight of Wands, he is like a visionary as well. He has the gift of foresight, even though we don't necessarily consider him to be intuitive. So, again, I think that you could be having some intuitive inner guidance thoughts or some, you could be feeling some more what's the word I'm looking for? Innovative ideas popping into your head. And I feel that could be very beneficial for you with the King of Wands. I would be, again, if I were an Aquarius, that's definitely what I would be doubling down on, is kind of innovative thoughts, innovative new directions in life, innovative ideas in business and love, pretty much everything. Next, we are going to look at what is being eclipsed out of your life at this time. You have this opening to discovery card and this burst of magic card. I don't think these are being eclipsed out of your life, these two things. I feel that this is what you're doing, basically, which obviously, the open to discovery card, there's that keyhole. And so you're going to have to go through that keyhole to the other side. So it's you could be eclipsing one thing out to be open to discovering something new, obviously. I feel like Aquarius needs to believe in a little bit more, magic at this time. It's kind of I call readings like this Tinkerbell readings because, it's if you don't believe in Tinkerbell, she disappears, right? And so it's if you don't believe that magical things can happen in your life or good things can happen for you, then that is true. But if you do believe that good things can happen for you, then that is also true, right? So your beliefs are going to be important. Next, also in the area of what's being eclipsed out, you have the Six of Cups. And the Hangman kind of flew out there when I pulled the Six of Cups. The Knight of Cups and the Five of Swords. Some of you, I feel there is something going on with nostalgia. The Six of Cups is a card of innocence and nostalgia. I always say the Six of Cups, to me, does not represent a person coming back from the past. It just represents thinking about the past or imagining the past, basically. It's not a good thing or a bad thing either. Sometimes with the Six of Cups, I think that, we could just be having these moments where we are feeling nostalgic about things that happened in the past, but we have to realize that like it's opening up a new opportunity for us in our life now. Like whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's like I'll bare my soul to you here, Aquarius, which I think I always do this to you. My brother moved out yesterday. We've been living together for 36 years of his life, and so, I was feeling a little bit nostalgic about things that we've done together and everything. We've been partners in crime for forever. Now he's chosen a new partner in crime. Oh, the woman in his life, right? A Pisces, another Pisces. He's screwing himself with the Pisces, right? But, what I would say here is that it's like, yeah, I've been feeling nostalgic about it and everything, and, I lost my partner in crime, but at the same time, it's like, well, maybe I need to grow up and make some new ones, right? And some new partners in crime, some new people, and maybe I need to go do some other things in my life, right? So it's kind of like, that's what I feel. I do feel that for you here, Aquarius, is that, you could be, I'm not saying you're like losing a brother or anything like that, but, there could be some moments where you're like thinking about things that you used to do and realizing like, hey, maybe it is time to do something new or to grow up or to have new experiences. And that's kind of what I feel with both of these cards here, is that you could be being enlightened to like new experiences that you want to have. You have the Knight of Cups. I actually feel like this is new love coming in for you. So again, I read intuitively, even though this row is meant to represent what's being eclipsed out of your life. Again, I read intuitively. So, take it or leave it. But I feel a lot of you could be attracting like a new partner or new love into your life. Knight of Cups can be like a knight in shining armor, so definitely it could be a very solid connection that's coming in for you here. I literally feel that some of you could be being swept off your feet. So, there you go. That looks good to me, and it would be a solid connection. For others, I think you need to heal from past love here. We go, Six of Cups to Three of Swords, Knight of Cups to Three of Swords. What's weird is almost every single person has had the Three of Swords, and we have this Virgo eclipse on the 21st, which is good for healing. And so the Three of Swords doesn't have to be a bad thing. The Three of Swords can say is a card of forgiveness, and it's a card of forgiving the past and, forgiving past situations, which you could be doing. And it doesn't even have to be love with the Six of Cups. It could be just a person that hurt you, a person from the past. I think during this time, I think a lot of us could even be like forgiving people that hurt us on the playground when we were 3 years old. It might sound ridiculous, but it's like you never know. Our 3-year-old, 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old self doesn't know the difference between, like what someone says back then. It's like some of us, I think we carry those traumas forward into adulthood, and it stops us from doing things, right? When someone calls us stupid when we're 5, and we still act as if we're stupid when we're older, right? And so I feel that's what the Three of Swords is saying, is that you could be healing a lot of that, especially with the Knight of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. I feel like you're willing to take bigger risks here, Aquarius, as well. And so like, is that something that that's being eclipsed out? Maybe because, especially if you haven't been taking risks, that could be the thing that is changing, is that you're now more open to taking risks. And, obviously that would be good. With the Six of Cups and the Hangman, you have the Nine of Cups. I also, interestingly enough, I feel like you're no longer wishing for things. But, like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. It's like you're not leaving something up to chance, which is a good thing. I think, I feel that we should be both, right? I always say that, like, I don't really know if law of attraction works or not personally. But I feel like I've attracted things. Can I prove it? No. But I still practice it because it's free and it makes me feel better, right? But I also take action. That is like the big difference. I don't just think about something and hope that it shows up, right? That's what I feel for you. It's like you're still willing to be magical, the Burst of Magic card. You still have to believe in the magical side of things, but I also feel like you're also not just counting on things happening. You're like making things happen. I don't know. That's what's popping into my head. Yes, with the Knight of Cups, I'm telling you right now, there's definitely new love coming in for you. It could be a fire sign or a water sign, or like water with fire with water, cap with water, water with cap. I don't know. Those are the combinations that are kind of going this way and this way. But definitely could be a new love connection. There could be something about this person that reminds you of a past person, but I would look at their actions. I feel this could be a very good person for you if you're attracting love. But I do feel there is some sort of connection. Maybe this, it's kind of funny because maybe this person has the same name is what's popping into my head here as a past person or something like that. Or maybe they know a past person that you were with or something. But I don't know. It's popping into my head. With the Five of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yes, definitely a new person. I do feel also with this right here, King of Wands, this to the Three of Swords, that you could be, like, you healing a past situation could be the thing that brings in a new one. So, I think it would be a good time to do any like forgiveness thing that you could do, or like bury the hatchet, or let go of the past, whatever you want to call it. Next, we're going to look at where you are being redirected at this time. Usually, eclipses also redirect us towards something. You have this Take a Breath card and this Boundaries card. Yeah, probably learning to set boundaries because maybe you didn't in the past. And I feel a lot of you could be doing that. I do feel like you're slowing down a little bit as well, like not trying to rush things with that Breathe card. You have the Three of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Three Swords can represent like a separation, sadness, all those other things. But again, this is showing up in the area of the reading where you are being redirected. I feel you are being redirected to healing, and like everybody else. South Node in Virgo. We have this eclipse in Virgo on the 21st. We're gonna have more eclipses in Virgo in the future. Right now, we are in the Pisces Virgo eclipse sequence, whatever you want to call it. So I believe the last one is in Virgo in 2027. So, again, the things that we're dealing with now will probably come up multiple times between now and 2027. And so I would definitely heal now. Again, people always say to me, I don't want to wait till 2027 or whatever. And I'm always like, well, you don't have to. I'm telling you to do this right now so that you don't have to wait until 2027. Fix your issues now. You have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, it's all about the heart. Again, fix signs, right? You fix signs, I think, you need to work on your heart the most. Like doing what your heart tells you to do, being flexible with your heart, following your passions, bringing more desire into your life, doing more of the things that you do desire to do, doing more of the things that cause you to overflow with the Ace of Cups here. All of that. Listening to your emotions, listening to your intuition, just working with those energies, it quite simply will be the thing that probably improves your life the most. But, again, it's going to require a little bit of flexibility. You have the Ace of Cups, so definitely could be being redirected towards love for those of you that want it. We are in an amazing time for love, the end of the year here into the next year, so, it wouldn't really surprise me. I think a lot of people are attracting love right now. I said this at the beginning of the year, that, the end of the year would be better for love if you want it. So, there you go. With the Queen of Cups, again, I would make sure to do more things with these two cards that cause you to overflow. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I get a lot of questions here on that Three of Swords. You could be asking yourself questions like, why have I put up with people who breadcrumb me? Things like that. These are important questions to heal, though, right? It's like if you're in a situation where you're not getting anything out of it, it's like, why is that all you think you can deserve? And I'm not picking on anyone here, but it's like I've talked to people that have been in like long distance relationships for like 3 years and never met the person. I'm like, it's like, why? It's like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what I am saying is it's like, what, I say to those people sometimes, like, why do you think that's all you deserve? Like, why don't you deserve a person that's here right now? You know what I mean? Because it's like, if we really are honest with ourselves, do we really want to be in a long distance relationship for 3 years where you never meet a person? Probably not, right? If you meet the person and you travel to see the person, different story. But if it never happens, then there's a problem, right? And so, I don't know, that's like the question that's popping into my head. Like, are there situations where you've cheated yourself out of something in the past? I don't know. I think we all have. And so, and it doesn't have to be love. This could be anything. But, again, I think the good thing here is that you could be healing this. But yes, with the Queen of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, I should have said it earlier. I think the Queen of Wands is amazing energy for Aquarius. I think this is the energy you should be embracing. Being bold, being assertive. She really moves towards the sun as well. She has a sunflower. The sunflower points towards the sun. So I think moving towards joy, happiness, peace, things that bring you those feelings as well would be a very good idea with the Queen of Wands. You also have divine counterparts here with the Queen and the King of Wands. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I think you need to get out of your head a little bit. A lot of people have had the Nine of Swords as well. Not like as many as have had the Three of Swords, but a few people, I should say, have had this card. So it seems to be a little bit of a theme this month, or for this eclipse season. So definitely something to think about. But the Nine of Swords says it might be time to get out of a round-and-round situation. I'm wondering if that's what the Six of Pentacles is. Like, if you are in a breadcrumb situation, which doesn't have to be love, that could be a job. It's like you can have a job that's not paying you enough money, that's breadcrumbing you, and maybe it's time to look for another one. By the way, I definitely wouldn't just up and quit a job right now. Terrible idea. Like, get something first and then quit, right? Make sure you have something lined up, basically. Next, in the area of your next chapter, and also your next 6 months, basically the eclipse season, you have this parents card. It says authority, modeling, security, and guides. You have this running light. It says urgency, overwhelmed, and striving. I would be careful of feeling overwhelmed right now. Like, there is no rush. Again, I think rushing is actually a very bad idea right now. So I would, take your time. I do think something is moving quickly, though, because you have the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands, which are both quick movement cards. I think it's an amazing time for you to become an authority figure, by the way. So anything you can do to take authority in your life, or to even, again, like I said, you have to be an inspiration. So, being an authority to people, also very good. You have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands. These two want to come out together. The Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. The Ace of Swords can be a victory or success. Ace of Wands is like out with the old, in with the new. Actually, the Ace of Swords can represent a sacrifice. So with the Ace of Swords, we can be cutting something out to have something better. And I'm wondering if that's what you're doing here, Aquarius. You could be cutting one thing out to have something better in your life, which would be great. You have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is, again, breadcrumbing energy. I do feel that. I don't normally say that. As a matter of fact, normally I like the Six of Pentacles. I would just be careful of anything that is breadcrumbing you. But I feel this is more of a question that you need to heal inside of yourself. Like, why did I accept that situation? And I think it's a good, eclipses are good for deep work, right? And so if you like journal about that question, you might get a good answer. And then you won't do it again in the future, right? Or you could heal that part of yourself, right? So, I think that looking at those things would be a good idea. But this could also be good for like money blocks and things like that. Like if you have a business, why aren't you charging more money? I don't know, but maybe you need to answer that question. Maybe you should be charging more money. But maybe if you ask yourself the question and you journal about it, maybe you discover that when you were younger, your parents were always worried about money, and now you're worried about money because they were always worried about money. It's like, if you can fix it, then you can make more money. And so I would be like, asking those deep questions. That's really what I'm getting off of that card. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success or a quick conclusion. I do think something could move very quickly here. So there you go. I do feel like you might notice that something might be making you feel a sense of urgency this month as well. But again, don't rush. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords. Again, it's like those two were meant to come out together in the first place, right? So that's pretty crazy. But definitely could be a victory coming in for you. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Hermit. Can't make that up. Deep introspective work. Literally what I've been saying on the Six of Pentacles. We also have Pluto retrograde in your sign. That's probably why this is coming up. Because, Pluto's going to retrograde until like October 14th or whatever. And then it's going to go direct. But it's only going back to like 1.3 degrees of Aquarius. So, with Pluto retrograde, it definitely could be asking you to do some deep, deep introspective work at asking those questions, removing blockages. People always ask me like, what should I do to remove a blockage? I'm like the wrong person to ask, because I am a living, breathing block. But what I would say is, like on YouTube, right? There are like a billion videos for free about a million things you could do to remove money blocks. Things like that. I like tapping as well, I think is a great one. So, EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique tapping videos are great for removing blockages and things like that. But definitely something I would work on. I'm an Aquarius rising, and I have been working on this stuff. I've been doing a lot of tapping and stuff like that. So, again, I do this stuff that I say. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. Quick success, quick conclusion, something quick. Something's happening fast here for you, Aquarius. It could be love that's happening very quickly for you. I think, if love's coming in for you, I think it'll make you very happy as well. Next, we're going to use the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to look at anything that I missed. You have this speculation card. There is like this weird element of like gambling energy. I am not suggesting that you gamble or play the lottery or anything like that. And as a matter of fact, it is not a very lucky time. But we have a record high lottery right now. At the beginning of Uranus and Taurus, I told everyone we would see record high lottery numbers because Uranus and Taurus is not lucky. We have Uranus and Gemini right now, but Uranus will be retrograding in November back into Taurus. So again, it doesn't surprise me that we're having another record high lottery at this time, right? But what I would say is it's a good time to like gamble on yourself. You know, it's a good, like, as in, it's a good time to take those risks where you need to be more confident, or you need to speak up, or you need to do whatever. I think that this card is also good for taking a risk on love. So if you think that someone is interested, they probably are, Aquarius. You have this endurance card. Yeah, I think that we are definitely in a time where we all have to play the long game. If you're going to, like, again, with Saturn and Neptune both having moved into Aries, Saturn's in Pisces retrograding right now. Neptune's on its way into Pisces. It's not there yet, but it will be soon enough, retrograding into Pisces. But, they both have already entered Aries. And, basically, Chris's crappy astrology here, if you're going to build something, you have to do it for the long haul. If you're starting a business, a relationship, whatever, you have to say, I'm going to see this through to its logical conclusion. And if you do that, things will go well. There you go. You have this isolation card. Some of you, either someone's pulling you out of isolation, or you're pulling someone out of isolation. So if you're looking for love, you definitely could be helping a person kind of like become more social. You have the secrets card. Yes, we're in a time of secrets. Like I said, Pluto retrograde, right? It really good time to look into mysteries, secrets, about yourself, but about the world, about things that you're interested in, all that. And finally, you have this order card. Yeah, it is a good time to kind of like have a plan, I think. Six of Pentacles twice. I don't think we have to be perfect. I think we just have to have a plan. Like, if you're going to be building something right now, I would come up with like your first 3 moves. Like, what are the first 3 things you're going to do? And they can be small steps, but as long as you follow a plan, things will go well. So there you go. This reading looks pretty good here, Aquarius. I like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.